On little cassette tapes. You know, on vinyl. Do you remember vinyl?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You're too young. It was a million years ago. And when we started doing concerts back in 93, 94, our audience was predominantly female. Here we are 25 years later, and we got loads of dudes in the audience. Hands up all the dudes crying. You're very welcome, gentlemen. Have a great time tonight. Clever men. Very clever, think about it. Ratio probably about 20-1. Lads, you're in for a good night tonight. But music is beautiful, the way it brings us back, the way it transports us back to a place, a happy place. In our teenage years when we hadn't got a feckin' mortgage. When we didn't have stresses of life like kids. Back to happy times, you know, and that's what these songs are doing. That's what this show has been doing. It's been giving the audience the opportunity to be transported back to their teenage years, to that boy they might have kissed, like Ro was saying earlier on. I mean, I know for me it's the 80s music, like Cheap Trick Flame or some rock ballad like that. Brings me back to the discos in Dublin when we used to have the slow set. You know, you'd have all the up-tempo songs, then you'd have the slow set, and you're picking out the girl that you're going to ask to dance when the slow set starts. You know, the smoochy one when you put your arms around her waist and you kind of just go around in a circle. And if you're going well, you might just drop the hand a little bit, you know, just for a little squeak, you know. And if you're really brave, you might pull back a little bit to see if the old snog is on the cards. And then you'd end up for the rest of the slow set with your tongue stuck down the back of her throat, if you were very lucky. But songs have a great, if you hear a song on the radio you haven't heard for ages, it can do that. It can bring back really happy memories. And this next song we released over 23 years ago. It was a #1 for us in the UK. And the reason we performed and released this song, our album, the first album, Said and Done, went straight to #1 in the UK charts. And a show called Top of the Pops. You remember Top of the Pops, right? They gave us a chance to sing whatever song we wanted off the album on Top of the Pops. And we picked this next song. Ironically, there's a bit of a story behind it, you know. Back then there was no mobile phones. And then they brought out this big block phone. Do you remember them? You used to have that strap around your neck. It was like the size of a car battery. You'd kind of bring it around like that. You know? We had one of them between 5 of us. We used to sit around it waiting for it to ring, but none of our mates had any money, so they had no fucking phones. It was never going to ring. But it did ring this particular day. We had just done the first dress rehearsal for the song, and we're sitting in the dressing room in the BBC, and the phone rang. It was great. It was a novelty. We all fought over who was going to answer it. But the call was from me. And it was a lovely little girl called Lisa back in Ireland in Dublin. And she was telling me that I'm going to be a daddy for the first time. I shit myself, I kid you not. I was only 20. Anyway, he's now 23 years of age. And the song is ironic because the song is called Father and Son.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, as you fall. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me,
I am